So is Jamahal Hill still the champion, world champion of the light heavyweight division? I'm not sure. So a little bit of backstory. Earlier this year, he won the title. He became the world champion in the light heavyweight division, beating Glover Teixeira. Then, just on July 14th, he ruptured his Achilles. He was playing basketball with his friends, working out, and he unfortunately ruptured his Achilles. So the first thing what he did was he relinquished the title. He said, I will relinquish the title. That's what he said. Fast forward about a month after that, there was an interview with Ariel Helwani and Jerry Prochazka, right? Jerry Prochazka, prior to that, also relinquished the title. This made, Jamahal Hill, having a serious injury just like Jerry Prochazka did, relinquish the belt too. Fair play, right? Great sportsmanship by two players. They don't want to hold up the division. They want to keep things moving, right? Fair play. And by the way, Ariel Helwani also interviewed Jamahal Hill once he won the championship. So he's been following him. Jamahal Hill has a really great backstory. I mean, this guy came from the Dana White Contender Series. Just like Sean O'Malley, he's I think the second, third champion coming from the Contender Series. As an outsider, shows up out of nowhere, beat a bunch of people. I didn't pay much attention to him, by the way. I found out about him when the Contender Series was actually on. I was watching him. I didn't think much of him. I watched him in the fight against Paul Craig, and unfortunately, his elbow popped there during the submission by Paul Craig. And then ever since that match, once he healed, he was on a tear, ended up fighting the champ. Wonderful performance. He had so many strikes. He was terrific, and he just beat the socks out of Glover Teixeira, well-deservingly winning the championship, right? Then he got interviewed by Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani, as we know, he has a lot of history with a lot of fighters, he's one of the pioneer journalists in MMA, combat sports in general, right? So hats off to him. I mean, I don't have much to say about Ariel Helwani other than he's a really good journalist. However, he had a lot of beef between him and Dana White, the organization, very famous beef between them. So he pretty much banned from all UFC events. He cannot attend anything. He has a beef with Dana. Ongoing beef still to this day. That's Ariel Helwani. So then now we have Jamahal Hill, who was interviewed. You know, they had a good interview. And now fast forward, Jamahal Hill gets injured. Now Jerry Prochazka has an interview with Ariel Helwani. The problem with this interview is that Helwani, I've looked at both sides. It seems like Ariel Helwani did kind of turn against Jamahal Hill for whatever reason. I'm not sure why would he bring him down, but subliminally, in the interview, he asked Jerry Prochazka, hey, how do you, your response to Jamal's injury is great. Something along the lines like Jamahal Hill's response to him, to Jerry Prochazka, was not good. He was not a good sportsman towards the injury and not patient enough in the comments. Where are you at when he came out with that video back in the day once he won the title? But that was just, I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't agree with that, and I think it's that's not fair. It's disrespectful to the champion Jamahal Hill, especially having him in that studio right there through Zoom, whatever, it doesn't matter. But he still interviewed him. It's kind of disrespectful. And then Jerry Prochazka also answered oddly, saying hey, what are you doing, bro? Why did you play basketball? I mean, who are you to tell him what to do, what not to do, really? It's kind of weird. You gained a lot of weight and you're too heavy to play basketball and you got injured, right? That's no surprise. But then Jamahal Hill brought up a good point through his channel. I saw this video on his channel. Check it out. Really cool. Yeah, he's really doing good with his channel. So then Jamahal Hill brought up a really good point. Bro, you popped your shoulder. You had your friend pop it back in and then increasing the level of injury to your shoulder, tearing apart, making it more serious. To this day, Jerry Prochazka is still not fully recovered. We don't know if he's fully recovered or not, but it was a bad injury. I mean, it's taken him over a year now to get back to the ring. Still no scheduled fight, FYI. And I'm going to talk about that more now. So my question is, did Jamahal Hill relinquish that belt or not? Did he just say, I will, but never officially did it? After that interview, maybe he literally said, you know what, I was trying to be a nice guy. You guys are all assholes. You know what? I'm keeping the belt. I'm still the champion. You're all gonna wait. You can fight for the interim championship if you want, but I'm gonna be defending the belt, and that's fair play now to Jamal. I don't think it would be like him going back on his word, given the circumstances and everything, right? He tried to be nice. He tried to give the division a chance, but now, Jerry with Ariel Helwani is throwing shots at him, not being respectful in that matter. Well, you know what? You might as well go fight for the interim championship belt, and then we'll fight next year for the real belt, right? The whole division will have to wait. It is what it is. So, because what I did was I went to the UFC rankings website. I refreshed it. Latest update was September 5th. And it says there, light heavyweight champion is Jamahal Hill. Just as a comparison, you have the women's bantamweight. Previously, the champion was Amanda Nunes. She retired. She vacated it, right? There's nobody there as a champion. It's a vacant seat. They will have to fight for that belt, right? So Jamahal Hill supposedly relinquished the belt 2 months ago. They would have already probably updated it in the system, in the UFC website. Okay, he's not a champion anymore, but it seems like officially, nobody's talking about this, by the way. I think this is the only place where you will hear this. I think he's still officially the champion. I might have missed it. I feel like I also heard Jamahal Hill said something along these lines. Well, you know what? I still haven't officially told the UFC. It's not the same thing as retiring, by the way. For retiring, for the USADA, for the official purposes and everything, all you need is a public statement. All you need is a tweet, post on Instagram, Facebook, just anything in writing. Hey, I am retired from MMA. And that's enough for you to be retired officially. Everybody will treat you retired. Nobody will ask you questions. That's it. But for relinquishing the belt, maybe just a statement alone verbally is not enough. Maybe he does have to contact the UFC and say, hey, excuse me, guys. By the way, I'm your champion in this light heavyweight division. I no longer want to be the championship. Here you go. I am vacating the spot. Figure it out. But it seems like that hasn't officially happened. I'm not sure. I'm asking the question. But to me, it all points towards that direction, given all the circumstances and everything. Now, would this also might be a problem in the negotiations that they're currently having? I made a video about this about a month ago, I think. There's still no fight, no main pay-per-view scheduled or a co-main for December. There's still a very big question of who will be fighting in December. The infamous December, because now we also had Conor talking about it. Hey, I'll be fighting Chandler in December. No, I'm not going to fight Chandler in December. Oh, I will be, by the way. He's trolling, right? He's keeping himself in the conversation. In other words, doing what he's supposed to do when you're not fighting, but you want to keep your popularity up, stay in the conversation. Only a few people do that. Few fighters do that. Conor is doing that. But he's not scheduled, and it seems like it's not realistic with his USADA thing going on and everything, no exemption. I don't think he will be fighting in December. So who's left is Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, or Jerry Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. So which of those two will be fighting? Now, if Jerry is fighting, like I said, if this guy's keeping the belt, the best they will do is they'll fighting for the interim belt championship. So not for the official championship. In other words, just for the number one contender spot. And they're going to have to wait for Jamal to fully recover, and then Jamal will defend the belt, which changes the landscape completely for the whole division and other cases, as I talked about in other videos, where Alex Pereira already has a plan set. He will be fighting for the belt. Then he will be fighting, he says he has unfinished business with Adesanya. But if this delays it, right, if he has to have 2 more fights at the light heavyweight, then that fight with Adesanya might never happen. Things will change a lot in a whole year. A lot will change. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, do you think Jamahal Hill is still officially a world champion in the light heavyweight division or not? Did he relinquish the belt? And let me know, do you think, will they fight in December for the belt or for the interim belt? Jerry Prochazka and Alex Pereira. Let me know in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe to Dr. Cage MMA. I'll see you in the next one.